Yeah, well, what this thing is a heat riser bypass. It's probably the smart thing to get because the heat risers always leak. I think since I had this car since '91, a heat riser always leaked a little bit, even when I didn't have an exhaust leak at all. But what I did was, oh, here's Bootsy. Hey, Boots, what are you doing, little guy? Wow. There's our rebel cat. Here you go. Some food there. Some food there. Is that okay? You want some treats? Hold on a second. Oh, okay, so we got to take care of the Confederate cat. Yeah, throw some treats in his food so he eats them. He's getting to be fussy, man. So anyway, this heat riser bypass, I don't even have, it's what it's for, the heat riser's for, it's got like a valve that closes and allows some of the heat to go by the manifold, and there's like a shroud around the manifold that allows warm air to go into the air intake, and there's like a valve with that too. And well, in other words, I got all that shit. No, I don't have any of that crap. I just got a Demon 2-barrel carburetor, which is like a Holly with a manual choke, so I don't use any of that shit anyway. But you know, it's kind of hard to find out some of this information because I got a 350 engine with a 305 white pipe on there, because this was a 305 originally. This is the 305 heat riser gasket. I had to go on eBay and pay like $12 for this bullshit thing. And this was like $1 something from Rock Auto. You can see it's a little bit different. I just ordered it anyway. You could probably make it work. But actually it goes on this side. See? You could probably make it work. But this is the one that really goes on there. Because man, you really looking this shit up, they're a little bit different. And you know, since this engine was originally a 305 4-speed posi, put a 350 in it a while back. See? Ain't the right part. So you actually got to have the right heat riser. There's some places are saying they're all the same. I don't think they are, because this obviously the holes wouldn't line up. And you know, I got new donut gaskets for it, so the Y pipe bolts up into here. Now when you take this bitch off, it really isn't that hard. The hardest part obviously is rusty bolts, but it's not as bad as you think, because all you do, they're not, the ones I know, if I try to just get them off, even with what do you call it, PB Blaster or something, it'd snap them anyway. But what you do is you just get those bolts real cherry red, and then they'll come off. But that's your heat riser. You see that little valve right there? It's like it's got an arm. It goes into that, and this is supposed to open. I don't forget how this works, man. It works off the engine temperature or some bullshit, and it causes this manifold to heat up a little bit more. And you got that shroud around here, and this runs up to your air cleaner, and it has like a little thing where your air is coming up through this when the engine's warming up to open up your choke faster. Well, I just got a manual choke, man. I don't need that bullshit. So I'm just going to try to get this thing real quiet and see if I can get the lifter tick out of it. If I do, I ain't going to change the cam, but probably not going to be able to get the lifter tick out of it, because it always had one. I think when this engine was broken many years ago, it was never, you know, I didn't have the right zinc oil in it. Probably screwed the cam up. But you know, I was thinking, you know, hey, I was going to try to get 350. You can't get the original parts for this damn thing too easy anymore. I'm looking at the Y pipes. It's like you just get headers, and you just put dual exhaust, and you have to get a dual hump cross manifold. Dual hump cross member on your transmission to run two pipes. I don't want to do all that bullshit. just enough for this crap, because most of the exhaust is new. So I just want to quiet it down. But it wouldn't matter if you put headers on this stupid thing. If you don't have really good heads and a cam, it ain't gonna do shit. You know, it don't mean a damn thing. So, you know, it's like you really, the cam and the heads actually do the most versus the headers. That's when the headers actually start making the freaking thing really work. So I ain't worried about putting those stupid headers on here. The other problem is with this damn, since I got a 4-speed, that Z-bar coming down there, and you can see it, I don't know if you can see it back there, it's Z-bar, right? That usually gets in the way unless you use the little shorty headers, which you know, how much are they going to give you, right? But that's what I'd probably do. I'd probably get the shorty headers if I put them in there, but I'm going to get the trans before I even screw with this motor. But that's the deal. You want to have one of these things, because those damn heat risers, they're like $100-something, and they don't last that long. They start leaking. You hear this little, you know, coming out the side. I hate that noise, man. I hate that shit. I mean, it's stupid. I don't even know. I mean, probably you need it for emissions purposes, but it really don't do shit, because I just turn the choke off as soon as I can anyway, you know? I don't need it. And this part, it ain't gonna wear out. I mean, unless it gets rusty or some shit. I don't know what can really, even if it did, you just kind of grind it smooth again. But that's only like 20-something bucks. There's $100-something and a piece of crap part that would break again. And if you don't have it hooked up, you don't have your heat riser hooked up, that valve, you'll have to wire it open, because the damn, you know, it's not working off. It's not working off of this bullshit thing here, you know. So I'm getting rid of this shit. That's coming off of there. That's coming off of there, man. We don't need that shit. This car is going to be, it's a 78, but it's going to be pretty much like a 60s car. And the way I'm going to get the emissions down on it real low, way better than 78, is with HHO. That's where that crap comes in handy, because I got that on a little Suzuki, because, you know, you don't get that much more, you don't get any more mileage if you got a really, you know, efficient, electronically controlled computerized engine with the best fuel injection and stuff, and the best ignition timing. You know, it's all managed. You know, this engine would probably get 25 miles to the gallon with that crap. Right now, you're lucky it gets 14 or 15. You know, if I put the HHO, maybe to get 16 or 17 on a highway. I don't know. But it does make a difference, because this thing's just, you know, inefficient. But it's going to actually get it running cleaner than a regular 78. So that's how I'm going to do it. It's going to be basically like a simple 60s car, except HEI ignition. So, but that's the thing. These are not, you know, I'm looking around, I'm saying, man, these things are not all the same, man. It's like you can't find this information out too easy. It's like people are not, they're not putting Y pipes back in there. They're just freaking putting headers and shit and dual exhaust. But when you start doing that, you're running like an $800 exhaust system. I'm like, yeah, it's bullshit. You can, for like $1,000, you get a whole engine. You know, I'd rather reuse the freaking exhaust I got. You know, pretty cheap, but these parts were dirt cheap. So freaking 35, 40 bucks worth of shit. That'll get it nice and quiet. So there you go. But that's what it is. It looks like a 350 and a 305 are different. They're different heat risers, so they should be different bypasses. And I swear to God, I'm looking into parts, and a lot of times they're selling them. They're saying they're just all the same. I'm like, they ain't. I don't see how they can be, because this is a 350 heat riser. Well, it's actually on this side. That side, the other side was for this, right? This is a 350. See, it's a little bit bigger. Now I know the Y pipe is a hair bigger, because when I first changed the Y pipe, it was I put a 350 in Y pipe and it didn't fit the catalytic converter, and I said, well, fuck that. I don't want to change that right now. So I put a 305 Y pipe in it. See, so that's, I don't think this would be too much of a bitch, but it's so damn hot out here, I don't feel like doing it. God, it's like no air. But anyway, figured I'd post this because this took me, I'm looking online, I'm saying, man, these fuckers are telling you, but they're all telling you different shit. The 305 and the 350 Y pipes are different, and the 305 and 350 heat risers are different, which means the heat riser gaskets are different. You can see one's bigger than the other, which means the heat riser bypasses are different. In some places they're telling you they're all the same. They're not. They're not. So, and that's a, yeah, it's freaking, once they came out in the mid-70s or early 70s, they really start screwing cars up with all that emissions crap, you know? So, anyway. Man, to tell you what, man, I think the next car I get is going to be in the 40s or 50s.